What's going on, family? Back with another video, you feel me? Thank you for tuning in. And in today's video, we're gonna be talking about that 70s show, you feel me? That 70s show set in the 70s, sitcom in the early 2000s. One of my favorite sitcoms growing up, definitely up there with the funniest. You know, George Lopez, Martin. I would say it's a better version of Friends. You know, a younger, youthful, vibrant, vibey, energy version of Friends. Hey, I ain't trying to come at no Friends fans, but you feel me? That 70s show definitely a way better show. I'm not gonna lie. Besides that last season. But in this particular video, we're gonna be talking about the character, specifically Jackie, and how she was passed around more than a blunt. You feel me? On that same show, because you know she dated around the friend group. You feel me? And it ain't no hoe shaming. If you want to be a hoe, go do your thing. Serve that kitty. You feel me? Ain't no judgment on this side. You feel me? But to be within the same friend group and serve kitty to 3 out of 4 the niggas within the friend group. In my opinion, I think that's crazy, but we're going to dive deep into it. We're going to talk about it in this video. So guys, grab your popcorn. Let's get into it. Love. So specifically in this video, we're talking about Jackie, right? So Jackie, she's like the self-centered, shallow, superficial, annoying, talkative character within the group. She's the baby of the group, you feel me? And she's really only considered a part of the game because she dates Kelso. So her character is really off rip is defined by, you know, who she's dating, her relationship status. You don't really get to see Jackie's growth until, you know, she's on her own, she's single, you know, and it's not like she stays that way throughout the series. We do get to see the growth, the vulnerability, and her maturing, you know, especially in specific character arcs, you know, when her dad gets sent to prison and she has to move in with Donna. You know, we see her, you know, kind of get more grounded, more humble, especially when she starts dating Hyde within the middle of the series, but we're gonna get into that. First, we're going to talk about her relationship with Kelso. So in season 1, it's pretty, you know, evident that Jackie's not really secure with who she is, you know, because she's defined by, like I said, who she's with. You know, in season 1, she's with Kelso, and Kelso mistreats her, always talking about how he's gonna break up with her, doesn't really treat her right. And because Jackie loses her virginity to Kelso, kind of gives Kelso this false sense of power, especially during that time era, over Jackie, and that kind of forces an attachment that Jackie has to Kelso, which, you know, doesn't allow her to, you know, be confident, be independent on her own, and find the beauty within herself. And her self-worth is attached to the relationship that she has with Kelso, which can relate to, you know, in relationships nowadays. So it is pretty evident that Jackie's self-worth is attached to her relationship with Kelso, because, you know, she's always taking him back. You know, even when Kelso dogs her dirty, you feel me? Kelso, remember in season 1, Kelso cheated on her with Pam Macy.
You are a dog, Michael, a dirty dog.
What I do?
You kissed Pam Macy. Oh!
She still took him back. She broke him, still took him back. And then you remember when, you know, Jackie had that pregnancy scare? Kelso reacted like an ain't shit deadbeat dad, you know, and even after that, she still took him back. You know, there was little breakups. They broke up mad times. Jackie proceeded to take Kelso back, you know, just because based off his looks, you know, because Kelso really wasn't shit, but because of how shallow Jackie was willing to, you know, get back with him regardless of what he did. So then we get to season 2, right? And then, you know, Jackie finds out Kelso's been cheating on her with Eric's sister, Lori, which is crazy, you feel me? And Jackie officially breaks up with him, and they're apart for a substantial amount of time for this breakup. They're broken up for a while, and even in the next season, in season 3, Jackie starts to develop a little crush on Hyde. You know, but Hyde didn't really return the feelings, you know, so it kind of foreshadows the relationship that's to come later in the series, but we're gonna get to that. During season 2 and 3, this is when Jackie, you know, starts to develop that newfound respect for herself after, you know, dumping Kelso and also not succumbing to his advances, you know, ignoring all that. And it isn't until Kelso gets cheated on by Lori that, you know, she begins to feel empathetic for him, or sympathetic, and starts to get that soft spot for him. And then, you know, eventually, to make sure that he is worthy of getting back with her, she tests him, and this was kind of the growth that we was looking for from Jackie. So by the next season, season 4, they eventually get back together, but their relationship hits turmoil when Kelso gets booked for a modeling agency, and he starts to, you know, neglect Jackie. So because of this event, this causes Jackie to feel unwanted, and, you know, seeking that attention that she needs. Later in that season, Eric finds her cheating on Kelso with the cheese guy, which you know, ironically, the guy that played the cheese guy was Hyde's brother in real life, and also, you know, he's Francis and Malcolm in the Middle. Fun fact. But, you know, after Kelso finds out about Jackie cheating on him, Kelso confronts Jackie, talking about, oh, you know, you cheated for this reason, but the reason why I cheated is because you made me feel insecure and dumb and you know, subconscious about myself, which I thought was bullshit. You feel me? Like, nigga, you was trying to blame, you made me feel this type of way just so you can get some on the side. Come on, man, we know why you cheated, nigga. So then this was the first time that Kelso actually broke up with Jackie, and then again they got back together. You feel me? And it's just annoying. They just, you know, on and off again, you feel me? This is really contrasts to Eric and Donna's stable relationship, healthy relationship. You know, with Jackie and Kelso's relationship, I always thought it was doomed to fail because of how on again, off again, their relationship was unstable. You know, especially in the season 4 finale, you know, Jackie tried to, you know, basically give Kelso ultimatum that they got to get married right now. You know what I mean? Just random. You feel me? Why? Like, I don't understand why she had to try to get married so young, but then I remember it's the 70s, you feel me? You know, people were getting married like mad young, 18, 19, so it kind of makes sense, but at the same time, it's like, You feel me? You gotta let it simmer. Like, what we rushing for? So then we get to season 5, right? And while Kelso's in California with Donna, Jackie and Hyde end up hooking up. You know, feel me? Which is why I say this bring out the whole tendency in her, because how you gonna try to like force your man to marry you, and then when he decides he's not ready, you get with his best friend. Like, y'all think that's crazy to me. You feel me? Like, you and they didn't even wait. They didn't wait 2 minutes. They got right to it. And Jackie, that's on some whole Tennessee shit. And Hyde, he ain't shit because he broke the bro code. Like, I can never be with my mans if he got with my ex-girl literally a month right after we broke up. Feel me? Diabolical. Now we get to season 5. We get to the Jackie Hyde era. You feel me? Which threw all of us off. Definitely threw me off because, you know, in the beginning of the series, they were polar opposites. They disliked each other. You feel me? You know, Hyde, he was repulsed by Jackie's bubbly, talkative, annoying attitude, and Jackie, you know, she had resentment for Hyde's jagged edge, you know, the rolling off the train tracks vibe that he had to him. You know, at first it would throw you off the relationship, but you know, as you look along the series, you go back, you kind of see the seeds that have been planted, because, you know, in season 2, after Jackie and Kelso broke up, Hyde decided to help Jackie. And that's when Jackie started to get infatuated with him. She realized Hyde didn't return the feelings, and you know, those feelings that she had for him fizzled out until season 5, where they were, you know, reignited again. And, you know, Hyde returned those feelings this time. So come season 5, they start their romantic relationship, and they you know, they start hiding it for everyone because they don't want to be embarrassed. Especially from Kelso. Hyde definitely broke the bro code, so they both, and, you know, Jackie getting with her man's best friend, both of them on you know, definitely wrong for that. To be honest, their relationship was more stable than when she was with Kelso, in my opinion. You feel me? Because they kind of balanced each other out. With Hyde kind of making her, you know, more grounded, more humble, and Jackie, you know, kind of making Hyde more empathetic. So throughout season 5, they stayed together for the majority of the season. Up until, you know, later when Hyde cheated on Jackie out of spite, out of jealousy. Which, you know, I don't understand why Jackie just built to be cheated on. I thought we feeling bad for her. You know, they evidently break up. So in the beginning of season 6, Jackie's finally single. She's fair game, and Hyde and Kelso, you know, they fight for her love. They you know, compete for her, and, you know, she rejects most of their advances, really honing to her own identity, honing to being okay with being alone, which is the part of Jackie that I really love. Until eventually, you know, late in the season, she ends up choosing Hyde. So then Jackie and Hyde are together for about 2 seasons, up until Jackie's offered a job in Chicago, where, you know, she said she won't take the job unless Hyde promised to marry her in the near future, and Hyde's unsure of that, so Jackie's like, I bet I'm gonna just take the job then. I was never really a fan of the whole Jackie marriage ultimatum thing, pressuring her boyfriend to, you know, either we do this or we get married. Like, I wasn't really a fan of that, because, like, I mean, I'm a man who's afraid of commitment, so that's kind of obvious for me. I know it was back in the 70s. You know, you wanted to get that, you want to lock in that relationship, make sure that you know where you're going in the future, which makes sense for a woman. You know, there's no woman to get a man that knows what he wants, future commitment. But like, you know, we young. You feel me? We young. I gotta let these balls. Nah. I gotta get the fuck off YouTube. Even though I did favor their relationship, I do feel like their relationship was kind of dragged out unnecessarily, due to the fact that the writers of the show can only develop Jackie's character through her relationships, you know, which I find kind of unfortunate. It kind of limits how Jackie can grow. She can't develop until she can't develop until she goes through the motions and the ocean, the pitfalls and the inconveniences that comes with relationships. That's when she develops. That's how she develops. So we get to season 8, the final season. By the final season, which side mention, like, this was the I don't even consider it a season. The final season of a Dynasty show ain't even a real season. You feel me? It was so bad that when Topher Grace left, I feel like Ashton Kutcher, who played Kelso, was finna stay, but once he realized that Eric wasn't gonna be there, he was like, you know what? I'm finna clock in all my hours for Punk'd, cause he already knew that the ship was gonna sink. You feel me? So he was out of there. You feel me? But anyways, yeah, this is the final season. Which, you know, Jackie, she's single for the majority of the season. Jackie is just obsessed with being married, so much to the fact that it's more important than figuring out what she needs to do to grow on her own. She needs to figure out what makes her happy, what she needs to do in order to find that self-fulfillment. You feel me? Which I think we all can relate to. We depend on our relationships, on our partners, to give us that satisfaction that we can find within ourselves. Ooh, knowledge? I'm dropping knowledge. It's a new, you feel me? So by the end of the series, you know, after Jackie had already been ran through by 58% of the group, she finally decides that she's like, I'm in love with Fez. You feel me? Because she's like, Fez has all the qualities that, you know, she was looking for in a man, but Fez was always like that. Fez was always there, but she overlooked him for God knows whatever reason. And this is, you feel me? This is typical whole activity. You feel me? You run through all the niggas with the clout, niggas that look good, or the niggas that don't treat you right, up until you settle for the guy that always deserved you. which, you know, which still applies to in today's society. You feel me? So in the final episode of the series, Fez and Jackie finally end up dating. It was unfair to me. I didn't like that because Fez, you know, it was long overdue for him to deserve to get some of that kitty. He been earned it. You feel me? Bent over backwards for this woman. You feel me? It wasn't until Jackie, she went all around the world like a basketball court in the group. All around before she finally decided to settle for the man that truly deserved her. You feel me? Which is a common trait for I don't mean to disrespect nobody, but beautiful women, they need to get mistreated by the niggas that ain't shit before they realize that the guy that deserved her from the beginning was right there all along. Let's talk about it. You feel me? Feel me? We could avoid that. We could you feel me? Crazy. To wrap this up, guys, in conclusion, okay? My point is not to hold shame. If you want to be a hoe and serve kitty, go ahead, do you. Have your fun. But to do it within the same friend group, 3 out of 4 niggas in the same friend group is nasty work. That's crazy. Y'all think that's crazy? I think that's insane. I ain't trying to be in no one's business, but come on, at least diversify, distribute the kitty to other friend groups. You feel me? That's crazy. Honestly, I feel like it puts a damper on Jackie's character. You feel me? Because I feel like her relationships overshadow character development that she went through within the show. Her character is defined by who she's with. In my opinion, she's with most of the guys in the main cast. I feel like the writers, like, come on, like, yo, how you gonna pass her around? Like she a hot potato. Right. Starting off going from Kelso, who, you know, it was just infatuation, just lust, based off looks, shallow relationship. But this is the relationship that she needed to get to her, to Hyde's relationship, which was a more stable, a relationship that kind of grounded her, humbled her more. But again, just like Kelso, Hyde treated her like shit, cheated on her. And up until she finally, I would say, considered settled for Fez, who was there all along, who always was, you know, trying to treated her like the queen that she was supposed to. But it wasn't until Jackie had ran through everybody else that she finally decided to settle for Fez, who deserved her. You feel me? Jackie got passed around more than a blunt in that 70s show. You feel me? It is what it is. My point is just get with that man that deserved you from the beginning, from the start. You feel me? I'm just chatting, y'all, but thank you guys so much for tuning in. I love y'all, appreciate y'all. Guys, make sure you like, subscribe. The last video that I put on my channel is gonna be in the description down below. I love y'all, appreciate y'all. I'm gonna see you guys in the next video. You already know the vibes. Love.